Hi everybody, it's PT Fiona here again. Today we're going to do a seniors program, and this is for people who prefer to be seated. But we also include a bit of standing up because standing up is awfully important, and if you can stand up, I'd like you to. First of all, we're going to warm up, which, as you know, is an essential precursor to any exercise program. Our first warm-up today is going to be side steps with a tap. So that means tap, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. Now I'd like you to bring your arms in, just like that, nice and simple. We slowly warm our body up for exercise. We're not going to do dynamic or ballistic. We're simply going to do a low impact warm-up. Okay, keep going until you've got a nice rhythm there. Okay, standing still, I'd like you to touch your opposite toes. So reach down and across. Your back arm is up high behind you and twist to the other side. Keep going like that. You can just imagine how many muscles are now being involved in this little movement. Upper back, lower back, shoulders, legs, abdominal muscles, obliques, you name it, it's getting a warm-up, and that's wonderful because we're going to use all of our muscles when we do the actual program. And even your glutes get a bit of a warm-up with all that bending and twisting. All right then, now we're going to warm up our neck and our shoulders. Roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward. Take your arms out to the side and rotate the whole arm backwards. Take it forward. From the wrist backwards and forwards. Now point your chin straight up to the ceiling. You'll feel the stretch all the way down the front of your neck. Now tuck, slowly lower your head and tuck your chin into your chest. And you'll feel a stretch down the back of your neck. Bring your head back up to the center and look over one shoulder. And then over the other. And back to the center. Now take an ear to your chest. And turn your head so the other ear comes down towards your chest. It's never going to touch. Come back up. Guide your ear down to your shoulder. Try to avoid lifting your shoulders. Other side. That's wonderful. That's so good. That is a lovely warm-up. Now we're ready to get started. So I'd like you first of all to pick up your feet. It's a high step, and it's a high step with both legs all the way across your room and back again. If you've got plastic cones, set them out a reasonable distance apart and high step over them. Not everybody has those things, but if you were to put something that won't break if you step on it and won't hurt you if you step on it, you'd probably find it quite helpful in getting your feet up and over the obstacle. However, today we'll imagine that we've got something down there that we're trying to avoid. Maybe it's just a low wall in the garden. Maybe you have to step over a low wall to get into your veggie garden. You don't want to be tripping over it, do you? You don't want to fall face first into the rhubarb. That wouldn't be much fun. In fact, it wouldn't be a laughing matter at all. It would be quite awful if you had no one to help you up. Falls are something you really want to avoid, if you possibly can. Look, it's not the end of the world if you do fall, but it might mean time out, flat on your back, in a hospital bed, with a broken something. Nobody wants that. Nobody. So those are the high steps. Do them as often as you like. Whenever you're walking, aim to get your feet up. Avoid shuffling. We all do it. You get out of bed, you're all a bit stiff and you're in a hurry to get to the loo, and you just sort of shuffle and bump into the doorway and flick on the light and the light's behind you and you're walking into a darkened passage. You know what it's like. You've been there. I've been there. These are the things we try to avoid. Look after yourself. That's what we want. All right, so those are the tones. Now, the band. For this program, you will need, I should have told you this at the start, a chair, a band of a resistance that suits you, plus, if you possibly can, a pair of equal weights. They can be dumbbells, they can be bottles of water, they can be cans of soup, they can be whatever you've got at your place. Things that you can get your hands around though. So to begin with, we'll go with the band. Now bands come in various colours and that doesn't always indicate their resistance. So you might need to try a few before you find what suits you. We'll start with a chest pull. Both arms are working. Your shoulders are getting it here, as are your biceps, as are your triceps, and your forearms. So it's a pretty good little exercise. It's not very big, just a little one. See if you can do 10. If you can do 10, try for 15. If 15 is too easy, you need a stronger band because you need to have something with good resistance that you're actually working against, not something that's too compliant. Now take it up above your head and pull. Do 6 above your head like this, and then what we're going to do is pull it out and pull it down, still extended. Once you get down, you can release. Try that again. Up over your head, extend with both arms and press it down in front of you, still extended, and then release. You'll feel that in your shoulders, at least I do, but you'd be surprised how many muscles are working. Your back is doing a lot of work in an exercise like this. It's jolly good. And your neck, believe it or not. Try it again. See if you can count the muscles. Up and out. Push down. Can you feel it? Can you feel your back doing the work there? And down and release. Okay, now back to the chest, pull it out. Just a few, 5 of those. Now, take it up above your head with one hand and pull it down with the other. Tell me which hand is doing the work. Both, in different ways. The upper hand tries to remain static. It's being pulled around a little bit, as you can see. But the lower hand is doing a lot of work too, isn't it? Other hands, swap. Up with one and down with the other. Pull it tight. Give it what for. It's you against the band. Hold it up against your head, up over your head rather, and pull down. Good. Okay, roll your shoulders back. I think they deserve a little bit of TLC. They've done well. Roll them forward. You've done well. Okay, now we're going to take the band in one hand to our opposite hip. Grasp the band with your other hand pretty close and pull back. Can you guess which muscle we're working now? Your shoulder remains static. It's only from the elbow to the hand that is actually moving, and it's actually your tricep muscle at the back of your upper arm that's doing all the work. Keep going. This is a fabulous little exercise that you can do any time of the day. Work on your triceps. They're terribly helpful. Swap sides, keep the same distance, and work the other arm. As you can see, the shoulder is not doing the work. It's quite an isolating little exercise. Good. Okay, what do we have next? We're going to put our foot on the band, on the floor, in the middle. Now, come down quite low with your hands on the band. Curl at the elbow. I'm going to turn sideways so you can actually see what I'm doing. Curl at the elbow, tuck your elbows in and work your forearms, your lower arm from the wrist. The wrist is moving, your hands are coming up, but it's the forearm muscles that are causing your hands to come up. Can you see that? Now I'd like you to turn your hands over, which might mean wrapping the band around once. Not tight. Now, curl up with the backs of your hands facing the ceiling. That's good. Working the forearms. Okay, back to the center. Give yourself plenty of band. We'll do some bicep curls. Now you know the bicep muscle is here in the upper part of your arm at the front. It's quite a large muscle. Well, we're going to make them larger. We're going to make them stronger. So tuck your elbows into your ribs. Don't let your arms move apart from your forearms, but this time it's the bicep muscle that's doing the work. See the difference between the forearm exercise and the bicep exercise? There's a world of difference. This is very good. Bicep curl. Okay, now grip the top of your band. Well, we're going to do lateral raises out to the side. So maybe don't grip the top, come down and bring it up. The muscles in your upper back are now working. You'll find your rhomboid and you'll find your trapezius and you'll find your latissimus dorsi are all combining to make this happen, which is rather good. This is a lateral raise. Lateral simply meaning side, to the side. There you are, that's your lat raise. Now we're going to row up with the back of our hands facing the ceiling again. Bring them both up. It's like a bicep curl, only it's with our hands facing the other way. It's called a low row. Bringing them up to your chest. There's a sideways view in case you need it. That's the low row. Wonderful. Take the band and put it away for future use. Okay, now with your weights, whatever you're using for weights, and it's got to be a weight that you can handle without hurting yourself, we're going to do a suitcase deadlift. Standing nice and straight, put the weights down on the floor beside your feet and stand up straight. Take your feet a little distance apart, bend at the knees, pick the weights up and stand up straight. It's quite simple, it's confusing, but that's until you get used to it. Okay, do that again. Down, leave them on the floor, stand up, bend, pick them up, and up straight. Bend down, put them down, stand up without them. Bend down, pick them up. Now you could go quite heavy with this, and down, and leave them. But it's up to you to work out how heavy. Bend down and up. Remember to always challenge yourself though. Bend down and leave them there. Come back up. Bend down and pick them up. Suitcase lift. Now, because mine are very light, I'm going to put 2 in one hand. We're going to do a 1-arm row. I'll come back a little and I'll bend this way. As you see, I've got my back leg out of the way. That's the whole idea of getting my leg back there, just so I'm not hitting it. And I'm rowing up, as you can see now, into my armpit. Try for 10 on one side. And then swap everything. Swap legs, swap weights into your other arm, and row again. Do 10 on the other side. If you cannot do 10, do as many as you can. Try for 6 to begin with. And if you find the weight is a bit heavy, you can do less. Don't rush them. There we are. I'm sure I did more than 10 there, but that doesn't matter. Now, once again, depending on your weights, you can keep them together or you can put one down. And then I want you to take it up and over the back of your head. Take it up and forward and back. Now take it up and back and up and back. If you've only got one weight in your hand, get the other one and try it with 2. It's not going to kill you. If you find that it's just too heavy, cannot do it, that's fine, but I would still like you to give it a try. Up and back, up and back. Now once again, the tricep is being worked here. Okay, that's a tricep overhead extension. For anybody who wants to know. Now we're going to do another bicep curl. This has more in it. This is a combination of exercises. It's a compound exercise in that way. So we're doing what you've already done, a bicep curl. Now, once you're at the top, at the shoulder, you turn the weights to face the front. You push them up over your head and you come up onto your toes. You bring them down. You come down off your toes, turn the weights and bring them down to your thighs. Try that again. Bicep, turn, press onto your toes, down to the shoulder, lower your feet, turn and lower your hands. Do it again. Up, round, up, toes, shoulders, turn, down. And last time, bicep curl, turn, press overhead, bring it back to your shoulders, back onto your heels, turn and lower. All right, you're doing extremely well. I hope you're enjoying this exercise. Now what I've got us to do next is the cones or the high step again. So up and over and up and over. You can use your arms as well if you want to. But if you're actually focusing on stepping over an object, you might want to look at what you're doing and not want your arms flapping around and blocking your view and causing a possible trip incident. So that's the high step. Step overs. Okay, now we've got a wall sit. A wall sit. I forgot to tell you, you're going to need a wall. So let's find a wall. Slide down into it. Weights are optional. Have them on your lap and go for 30 seconds if you can. Just sit in that position. This is not an ideal position because it's the arm of the couch, but you get the idea. Now you don't have to use weights for that. You can put them down and you can just use your own body weight to slide down. Have your thighs perpendicular, actually parallel to the floor. Have your lower legs perpendicular. Don't lean like I am on the arm of the chair. Just do a wall sit. But once your 30 seconds are up, you can come back up. Slowly and carefully. Don't overdo it until you've got strong legs which can handle it. Okay, let's see what else we've got. That was the wall sit. Now then, we're going to do a lunge, a forward lunge. What I want you to do though is lunge low and take your hands and clasp your fingers and put them at the front of your knee. Bring your leg back and put the other leg forward with your hands at your knee. Your back knee does not have to touch the floor, but if you want to do that, that's absolutely perfectly good. You can come right down and then you can come right up. And there's nothing wrong with that. It might help you to balance as you begin to do this exercise. Feel free to do it. It's entirely up to you. Getting it? Forward lunge, but it's a low lunge. In order for you to get your hands to the front of your knee properly, you're going to have to come quite low. And that's the whole idea of putting your hands there. Okay, so that's the lunge. Now, hand clasps and shoot your fingers out. It's a funny little exercise. Grip strength is terribly important. It is such an indicator of health, believe it or not. Push, push and push. If you can do 50 of these at a go, you'll get tired hands, but you'll get strong hands. Not only your hands, but of course the wrists, the forearms, and everything else too. Push and push and push. Make it fast. Make your fists tight and your fingers fast. How many have we done? Has anybody been counting? That's beautiful. That's enough. Shake it out. Give them a good shake. Okay, now we're on to our abdominals. Let's get a chair. We're going to start with seated bicycles. That means grasping underneath your chair, lifting your feet, come forward in the chair. I don't want you to use the back of your chair as a backrest. Bicycle away. Cycle, cycle, cycle. Now, I understand there are people who can't do that yet. That's fine. What I'd like you to try is lifting your feet up off the floor, both at once. You're sitting on what they call your sitting bones. If you were doing yoga, it's sort of around the middle of your backside. See that? Just raise and lower. Believe it or not, you're getting a jolly good abdominal workout by doing just that. However, if you are able to pedal, please do. Don't let your back touch the back of the chair if you can help it. That way you'll get a far better workout for your abdominals. Now, reverse cycle, which as we all know is very confusing and difficult to get used to. But once you're used to it, you never forget, just like riding a bike. There we are, that's the bicycles. Whoa. Stamp your feet. Get that lactic acid out of your thighs. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Now, both legs. Straighten them and then bend. Keep your feet off the floor. Isn't this a bit like what I just showed you? Keep your hands under your chair, or if you've got a chair with arms, grip the arms. I find this is quite superior to hanging onto arms. Okay. We're going to do some jabs. Take your other hand up to guard your face and jab and jab, 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 jab. Okay, other arm, guard your face. Jab, jab, across your body. Jab. Now, you know what's next? It's the uppercut. 10, 4, 5, 6, 10. Other arm, uppercut. Use your legs to balance yourself, to support you. That's what they're there for. Jab with the first arm. That's it. 10. Other arm, jab. Good fun, isn't it? Uppercut. 10. Whew. Just imagine who's there copying this. There wouldn't be much left of their glass jaw, would there? Okay, well done. Roll your shoulders back and roll them forward. Now we're going to do good old sit to stand. Everyone's familiar with sit to stand, I imagine. Cross your arms over your chest if you want to, and stand and sit. Now, people with longer legs may require a cushion on their chair, depending on the chair you choose to sit on. And I don't want anybody hurting their lower back with this simple exercise. Just imagine you're in an armchair and you want to get up out of it. Don't push yourself off with your hands, fighting with the arms, all that kind of thing. Just stand. Do you know what you're using? You're using your abdominal core. You're using your back and you're using your legs. Let's do a few more. No hands, Mum. Good. Sit to stand. Now I'd like to take one leg out the front, put it down on the floor and reach your opposite hand down to it. Guess what you're doing? You're stretching the back of that leg. You're stretching your hamstring. Swap legs. Reach down. And stay in that position until you feel the stretch in the back of your leg. Do it again with your first leg. And swap. Good. That was a nice little stretch, a sneaky little stretch. Okay, take your leg out to the side and bring it back 6 times. You can have your hands wherever you like. I've got a chair that swivels and that makes it slightly awkward. Only slightly. 6 times on your second leg. Go back to the first for 6. Put your foot down, down, down. Try to keep, if you've got a chair like mine, another thing you can do is not let it move. Hang on to it. Control it. Okay, now I'm going to show you a stretch for your piriformis, which is deep in your hips. This stretch will also stretch the band that runs down the outside of your leg. Take it up if you can. Take it up. Now the greater stretch comes from pulling your foot in towards your body. I'm just going to turn sideways so you get a better view. Press down on your knee. You will feel it here, and that's the whole idea. You'll also feel it right along the leg, down to the knee, possibly down below the knee. Press gently, and release. Place that on the floor and raise your other leg. Not everybody will be able to do this, I understand that, but what I'd like you to try is to get it as high as you can. Push down. Now look, some people might only be able to get their foot to here. If that's the case, hang on to it at that point and pull. You'll get a stretch. If that's as high as you can raise your leg, then pulling from there will give you a good stretch. One day you'll be able to hitch it up onto your knee, and another day you'll be able to slide it further along your leg. But that is a progression. And do it one more time on that other leg, and we've done the piriformis. There we are. That's excellent. Now, standing up, you can do this. This is our stretch, our cool down. Roll your shoulders back. You can do it seated if you prefer. I just find you get a greater range of movement if you can stand. Roll your shoulders back. Work those shoulders up to your ears and the other way. Bring them forward. Arms out to the side and rotate backwards. Rotate forwards. Beautiful. From the wrists, backwards and forwards. Good. Make a stop sign and gently press those fingers back towards you. Now point your fingers down and press your hand in, ever so gently. Other hand, stop sign and press down. That's lovely. Now I'd like you to take both arms forward, push forward and inhale deeply so that it rounds out your back. Now bring your arms in towards your body and exhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Would you like to do that again? Push your arms forward with a deep breath in and exhale. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Beautiful. Okay. Now what we've got? We've got a shoulder stretch. And the other one. You've worked your shoulders well today. They need love and care. Other side again. And last one. Press it right against your body. Now take one arm up. Remember the triceps that we used? Push that down behind your head. Press the elbow down. Bring your other arm around and reach up as high as you can. Do try to touch your fingertips or clasp your fingers even. If you can't, just try. If you can't touch, try. Release that and put your other arm down behind you. Reach around, reach up. Try to touch. That's beautiful. And release. Take your arms behind you, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now clasp your fingers and push down. Bring your hands up behind you. Try not to lean too far forward when you do this. And release. Now squeeze your shoulder blades and slide them down your back. Release. Squeeze and slide. And one more time, squeeze and push them down your back. That's great. Okay, now foot up in front. I'll just move the chair so that I can have that spot. Foot up in front. Come down. You'll feel it in the hamstring. The straighter your foot is pointing, the greater the stretch to your hamstring. So you be the judge of that. Don't overdo it. Other foot. That's lovely. Now, I'd like you to try something. You may or may not be able to do it. Come forward in a lunge. Take your back leg as far back as you can and stretch your groin. Come down. If you want to hang on to the back of a chair to do this, make sure it's a sturdy one or a table. Come up. Bring that back foot forward. Slide the other one back. Come down. Do it until you feel the stretch in your groin. And come up. Bring that back foot forward. Okay, now bending at the hips. Let your upper body hang forward. Reach to the floor with straight legs. And imagine it's an elephant's trunk. Rotate your upper body so that your fingertips trail around the floor, right around to your heels. Back to the center, and as slowly as you can, one vertebrae at a time, come up, 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 and straight. Pop your chin up to the ceiling. Tuck it down into your chest. Back to the center with your head. Look over one shoulder and the other. Back to the center. Take a deep breath in and lift your arms up over your head. Let that air all flow out of your lungs as you bend at the waist. Sweep the floor with your fingertips. Breathe in again as you come up. And again, going down, exhale. And breathe in again as you come up. Well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, press like and I'll know to keep going. I'll see you again soon. Love you all. Bye-bye.